Nation once again reeling from an act of terrorism. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Simon Shayket.
And I'm Whitney Burney. Let's keep you updated on what we know. The death toll in New Orleans stands at 15 with dozens of others injured. Investigators say a man rammed his pickup truck into a crowd of holiday spectators overnight. The FBI is investigating this as a terror attack and doesn't believe the suspect acted alone.
It came just hours before the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, and the game has now been pushed to tomorrow. But with the Super Bowl just more than a month away, also in New Orleans, terror is top of mind.
7 News Detroit reporter Randy Wembley turned to a local expert to get some insight.
Deliberate, methodical, and lethal.
That's Al-Javad Ali, a U of M professor focusing on domestic terrorism and counterterrorism, describes the New Orleans attack that killed at least 10 and injured dozens more in the early morning hours of the new year. The incident forcing the postponement of the Sugar Bowl.
That's something that I don't think has ever happened in recent U.S. history. Certainly in the aftermath of 9/11, in the aftermath of a major terrorist attack, we've never really canceled a high-profile sporting event, and now it's happened.
And is raising security concerns for large-scale events across the country and here at home.
What happens with the Super Bowl, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's now more than 6 weeks away. So I think we still have time, and there are other high-profile events that are going to happen that are going to have a lot of security.
In my opinion, where I think they went wrong is not blocking off the sidewalks. I looked, they had the metal barricades that, for crowd control. That's not going to stop a car.
Retired Assistant Detroit Police Chief Steve Dolan helped prepare for large-scale events during his tenure with DPD, and even afterward, he helped plan the security detail for the Father Solanus Casey ceremony at Ford Field. He questions what intel did authorities have on the suspect beforehand.
I'd be curious to see if there's any social media as far as any radicalization. If any of the feds had this individual on the radar.
In regard to the Lions game Sunday, DPD says it is prepared as always to keep the public safe. The Super Bowl is set to take place in New Orleans in February. The NFL released a statement which reads in part, "We're deeply saddened by the news of the devastating incident in New Orleans. The NFL and the local host committee have been working collaboratively with local, state, and federal agencies the past 2 years and have developed comprehensive security plans. These planning sessions will continue as they do with all major NFL events, and we are confident attendees will have a safe and enjoyable Super Bowl experience." I'm Randy Wembley, 7 News Detroit.
Thank you, Randy. We'll be staying on top of the developments coming out of New Orleans.